Hey everyone, how's everyone doing tonight? I'm looking at the comments here to see who's with us tonight. According to Chappie, who's moderating for us tonight, I saw, or according to him, something he sent in a little while ago. It said we had a couple of hundred people in here already. So if you're just joining us, welcome. If you are from the Draper Brothers channel, welcome. If you are from Linda's channel, welcome. If you're from both, welcome. We're just excited to have everybody in-house tonight. So as you can see, I got a haircut. And there's two things that I noticed when I got this haircut today. I remembered that I had ears, and the other thing was I hadn't had a haircut in about 13 or 14 months. I lost count, but it was somewhere just over a year. And you can see that I got a lot of gray hairs over the last year. So I was pretty shocked about that. But I am going gray. And I'm going to blame it. I'm going to blame it on these cases. I'm going to blame it on the stress of following these cases. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we have a great show for you guys tonight. As you guys know, we have Linda from It's a Crime here with us, and we are going to bring her on now. So if everybody wants to help me welcome Linda from It's a Crime. There she is. Hi, Linda.
Hi. Hello. Thank you for having me on. Nice to see you.
We're on. So good to see you too. Thank you for joining us tonight. So
you bet.
What I thought we would do tonight, Linda, is I want to talk about real quickly some of the news that's going on around the true crime community with the Suzanne Morphew case. We got wind, I think it was Plunder or somebody that put it on Twitter, that the guys from Adventures with Purpose are going to be joining us or doing a search there in Maysville, Colorado. Have you heard that?
Somebody was talking in my comments.
Yeah, I mean, how cool is that? Are you excited? Have you watched any of these guys yet? I mean, I know you will, but if you haven't, then that's okay. But man, these guys are terrific.
Yeah, I heard the buzz.
Yeah, so what they do is they go around and I don't claim to be an expert on these guys because they're kind of new on my radar as well. But I hope if you're watching, Jared, and I'm not sure what his partner's name is, but if you guys are watching, I did talk to Jared earlier today by email, and he did confirm that they were on their way, I believe, to Tennessee. They're driving tonight, and then so he wasn't able to join us. I invited him on this live with us, Linda. But he did say that they were definitely coming to Colorado and that he would be in touch. So that's pretty exciting news. I mean, these guys are going to be, bringing some resources with them and some equipment that's much needed in for Suzanne Morphew. What they specialize in mostly is underwater type searches. So
awesome.
That's going to be cool. So when you're doing your research, remember those bodies of water out there, Linda. So
I will do that. Thank you, Tyson, for letting me know that.
Yeah, and you'll get to know these guys pretty well. I mean, they've got a terrific show. It's exactly what their name is. They're on an adventure, but it also has purpose, and that's helping find missing people and stuff like that. So welcome aboard, guys. We look forward to working with you any way that we can. So anyway, I wanted to start that out like that, Linda. Let me thank Boise Boz for the super chat. She says, I sent Adventures with Purpose, a KMZ with bodies of water pinned around the. So thank you, Boise Boz, for that donation, and thank you for getting in touch with those guys. I'm looking forward to getting to know those guys better and seeing what they come up with. So anyway, Linda, how are you tonight? I just wanted to get some of those house cleaning things out of the way. Let's talk about Linda. How are you tonight?
I'm doing really great. Well, first off, there's a bunch of, I can hear myself talk. I don't know what's going on, but I can hear it echo. Oh, that's better. I hear that I'm reading the comments and I'm laughing because all the girls are going crazy about your new haircut.
Are they?
Woo!
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something real quick, Linda. The lady that sat me down in her chair today, she tried to get me to keep it because she's like, man, you have beautiful hair and I hate to cut all this off. And so we had like a 30-minute discussion about it before she even went to cutting on it. So
It's okay. You know what?
yeah.
I had my hair cut after almost a year as well, and there's grays everywhere, except I hide it a little bit, but it's all good.
Yeah, and I thought about doing that and I'm like, forget it, man. You just got to embrace it. Us guys do. Yeah, you guys can hide it all you want and that's fine, but us guys, we got to embrace it. So, anyway, thank you for the comments on my haircut, guys. I appreciate it.
You're loving
Right.
it. You guys are awesome.
Well, Linda, again, thank you so much for joining us. What I thought we would do tonight is just to kind of break the ice here real quick before we get into the Morphew case, is I just had about 5 questions that I wanted to ask you. They're not too personal, but they're just kind of thought-provoking questions and give us a chance to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
And so I'll ask you those, and then after that, we'll turn the rest of the time over to our subscribers and let them ask some questions as well. So,
All right.
but, the first one is, what would you say to those? No, excuse me. I'm going to save that one for last. I'm sorry. I'm going to save that one for last. Here's the first one. Is there something you've dreamed of doing for a long time, and why haven't you done it? So it's kind of a twofold question. So.
Well, actually, this is interesting because some of my viewers may know if they're on here looking right now. One of the things I really, really wanted to do as a teenager was actually go into law. So it might surprise you, might not surprise you. I never ended up doing it. So I wanted to be actually a criminal lawyer. I wanted to be a prosecutor. Surprise. As one of the things that I actually was, I couldn't stop thinking about for years. And then I didn't end up doing it. Life happened. And actually I got bitten by the acting bug way, way, way back. Nothing major, just I did some theater and things like that. So I loved doing that. And then I kind of abandoned, in a sense, going to law school. And then I had kids. So that was something that I've always wanted to do. I never ended up doing it. And here I am.
Well, I think this is the next best thing to that.
Yeah.
Yes. That does not surprise me one bit. And I don't think that's going to surprise any of our subscribers. I don't know how many times I've told you you found your niche. I mean, it's obvious. You have look at your subscribers. I mean, you're doing a great job, Linda. You're doing a great job. So, the next question is, what is your biggest passion? Now, I could probably guess, but you never know. I just thought I'd throw that out there to you. What's your biggest passion?
Hey, wait, what's your guess is my biggest passion?
True crime.
It's true crime?
Yep.
Ooh, okay. Biggest passion. Okay. Biggest passion or some passions? Well, I love true crime. Okay, so fair. I have other passions outside of here. However, they're probably still connected to true crime.
Yeah.
One of them is genealogy. I love that. I feel like in some sense, I'm going to be doing something down the road, or I'll have that interest in doing something down the road with DNA. I'd love to learn how to do what CC, what's her last name? Guys, help me out. CC Moore. She uses DNA and then she connects it to the bad guys and basically finds out cold cases and connects them. So, but really my passion is genealogy aside from that and finding my roots. And I'm super nerdy also in health. Like I crazily love health. And so that's probably 2 of my biggest passions, and traveling, but I can't do that right now.
Wow, that's okay. So that's not something that I would have guessed. For those of you that may not know a lot about genealogy, Linda, that's my understanding of genealogy is basically just searching your ancestors, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yes.
I'm super nerdy in that.
So have you discovered in your genealogy or your searches or whatever, have you discovered that you're related to anybody famous or anything like that?
Nothing, no one famous yet. How, maybe there is a tiny possibility to Britney Spears, but that's because her grandfather's where my grandfather was from, and there's the last name that goes in there. But other than that, like, I wouldn't say, I doubt I am. But other than that, yeah.
Britney Spears, wow, that is awesome. Man,
well, I don't know. I don't think so, but
you're full of surprises, Linda.
I know, I always am.
Yeah, and Britney Spears. I mean, I think at some point in time in my life, I've probably claimed to be her relative as well. So
yeah, all I know is her background is that, but other than that, there's no real surprises yet.
Well, that's cool. And that's what's cool about genealogy is when you find your grandparents or your great grandparents or whatever, and then you start like researching their story, and it comes to life.
Actually, I do have a story. If I could.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, just a tiny story about one of this. Actually, is kind of related to maybe why I have justice in me. I'm not sure. But one of my great uncles got into major trouble, but I believe he got in trouble for doing the right thing. So he was in the Army. He ended up being in this riot, and he was looking out, they're all there. This is what, I don't know, my gosh, like early 1900s, I guess it would be. And there's a riot that took place. So he and the Army were around, and they were, helping people out. But he convinced other people in the Army to lay down their weapons because they were going to shoot at civilians. And he was not of authority, not of rank to do that. So he got in major trouble and ended up going to jail for 15 years. And then he gets out, and he was super into politics. And he ended up shooting in the air at a courtroom over something. I'm not sure what yet. And basically at this guy, his name's Lord Strickland. So he shot in the air. Everybody said he shot in the air, but this Lord's sidekick said, no, he shot at him. And it ended up going to jail for another like 13 or 15 years. So when I heard that, I was like, oh man, this is a bum deal, right? He did that twice, and I feel like he was doing it for the right reasons. He ended up going into jail for it. So anyway.
Wow, that was a great story, and I mean, how fitting, because we were just talking about genealogy and then also it kind of has to do with true crime a little bit too.
Yeah, so that's why maybe that's where I'm getting some of that flavor from.
That is really cool. All right, Linda, you ready for the next question?
Okay, I think I'm ready. You're warming me up here, so I'm not sure. I'm nothing too scary yet.
This one you should know like the back of your hand. This one should be so easy for you. Easy A. Is it easier to love or hate, and why?
Love.
And why?
Why do you have to ask why? You know what? I don't know. It's like it takes more muscles to frown than smile. And so, I don't know. It's easier to love than hate for sure. 100%.
I agree.
It does.
I can tell you, Linda, that I have done both in my life, and it is much easier to love because, I mean, hate is just too heavy of a burden to carry, and it's a work in progress. I mean, we're human, right? And we all struggle, and there's certain things and situations that still get to us, but I have learned to just unload that hate.
And I think, you know what, Tyson, I think one of the things too, I love about the community and my community over at It's a Crime, and a lot of people are here tonight. So hello, I see you guys here. Is they're high vibing. They're after love. They're after truth, but they're putting out love. And for me, that's very important to put out love. And so in something so dark, I feel like we're bringing light.
Yes.
A little bit.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. You know, and you've been in this a little bit longer than I have, this true crime community, but we say it all the time on our channel, just how blown away we are by the love and the energy that, I mean, we can look right over here and see hundreds of, literally hundreds, maybe even in the thousands now of comments. And, you know, the majority, 99.9% of them are just love and people that want to help. And what a neat thing to be a part of, huh?
I love it. And I think that's one of the things that I'm excited about too, is with the creators, like you inviting me on the show, us having some conversation, just like with Profiling Evil and some other creators, that we can actually chat and not have hate, right? We can have a chat, and you and I have both talked numerous times about, there's tube crying. We've talked numerous times about, imagine what we could do if we're not, if we work together, right?
Yes.
We all have our own unique gifts, and putting them together after the same, we're all after the same thing. So.
Exactly. And I always compare it. Oh, I'm sorry. I started talking over you, Linda.
Oh, no, it's all good.
I don't know if everybody knows this, probably your people that are new. They don't know this about me, but I've been a coach for the last, 17 years. I've coached on and off, at different levels, high school on down. And it reminds me of that. We're all one team, but it's important to find people to put in the right positions, right? If I have a kid that is super good at pitching, if I was coaching baseball, I'm not going to stick him as catcher or on third base. You want to get people in the right positions. And I think with the true crime community, we're starting to do that. We're starting to get people who are good at certain things and have these talents. And you're right, Linda. I think as we do that, the sky's the limit. I mean, I read somewhere recently that, in the next few years, law enforcement isn't even going to have to worry about solving crimes anymore, because where they're going to be solved?
In the community.
Yeah, right here. Yeah, right here in these community boards and these Reddit, websites and web sleuths and what you're doing and I'm doing. And, we're going to just kind of be the future of solving crimes. That's pretty cool when you stop and think about it,
And maybe the people who are committing crimes will think twice.
Yes, absolutely. Especially with the ever evolving world of technology, it's going to get harder and harder to get away with committing a crime, and so it's going to steer people. It's going to be a deterrent, maybe, hopefully, for people to think twice before they do something. So
I hope so.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, and I think your wish is going to come true, that you're going to be involved with the DNA and all that kind of stuff. So
you never know.
When you get there, Linda, and you need help, just remember, keep my phone number. Okay, keep my phone number.
Yeah, you got it.
All right, Linda, and the last question that I'm going to ask you here, and before I get to the bonus question, is what in life is beautiful to you, and what inspires you? What's beautiful and what inspires you? Well, we've kind of talked about it. It's kind of the same thing, but
you know what? Okay. What is beautiful to me and what inspires me?
Yep.
Okay. So here's going to be my little mushy stuff. First, beautiful to me is simple. I've learned this. The more simple life is, the more beautiful it is. Simple. My thing is trust, honesty, and communication. These simple little things are the most beautiful. I don't need a lot, and that to me is important. And then what's the other question?
Just what inspires you, basically.
Truth inspires me. And also I am huge into self-development, and I'm super nerdy in that too. So things that inspire me is just simple, like a page of reading, a meditation that makes me feel good. Like just these little things, walk in nature. I go there. I get a lot of peace and also inspiration and all kinds of things. So that's the simple form, I guess. I keep talking. Yep. You have great questions, Tyson. I got to tell you.
Oh, that's
man.
Well, I'd be lying if I said I made them up. I actually. But I want to thank you, MO3Gs, the true crime community hit the lottery when you guys came into it. People like Suzanne are blessed to have you guys Plunder and Profile and Evil and her side, on her side. Yep, I agree. Thank you very much, MO3Gs, for the donation, and also thank you for being a member of our channel. So, all right, Linda, here's your final question before we turn it over to our subscriber here.
Okay.
I'm sure this may have been asked before on your channel. I don't know, but I'm gonna put it out there. Who in your relationship wears the pants, you or Mr. Linda?
That one's easy.
I think I know the answer to that one too.
Okay, there's two parts to this. I got to tell you a funny little story after this. I definitely wear the pants.
That's what I thought.
Okay. And what's funny about that is in chat the other night, somebody made a joke about me being the president, and I started laughing. And Mr. Linda came in chat and said, "Wait a minute, that means I'm the first lady." And so I thought that was funny. And then in my mind, I was thinking, well, I guess because I wear the pants.
That's hilarious, you know, and you know what? Hey, why not? We're doing a lot of firsts nowadays in our country, right? He could be the first male first lady. What the heck? There you go. Oh, but I forgot you're in Canada though. Do you guys still have a first lady over there?
No.
That's funny.
To that for politics, but I thought that was funny.
Well, you know what? I would vote for you, Linda, any day. So, okay, that's all the questions I have, Linda. But what I would like you to do before we turn it over to these guys is will you do me a favor?
Sure.
Will you do us all a favor? Will you say it one time?
All right.
Here we go.
Now, let's get into it.
Yeah. Woohoo! Good job, Linda. That's the best part. All right, so here we go. We're going to get into it, guys. We're going to take questions for you guys now. Let's see. And if you see any, Linda, can you see these as well?
I'm seeing nothing so far.
Okay. Let me see. All I see so far is we love Linda. We love Linda. So let me get past all these. Do you have any questions for me, Linda, while I'm looking here?
You can answer all those you asked yourself, or you asked me. What inspires you while we're waiting?
Well, oh man, did I disappear there for a minute? What inspires me? Well, that is a really deep question. Holy cow! I didn't expect you to turn these. I didn't expect you to turn these around on me. What inspires me are my children. My children. I got some amazing children, and I didn't expect them to grow up so quickly. And it's hard to go through these different phases. And now that they're getting a little bit older, they're on to more things or teenager type things or whatever they're doing. And it's just I'm inspired by the things that they do during these different stages of life. Does that make sense? They inspire
total
me.
sense to me. I have two kids, and they're 12 years apart, but they are so different, yet I learn every single day from them, every day.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just wonderful, you know, and
Yeah.
you can't really you can't understand that love until you have your own kids and you experience that, you know. So it's not something you can explain to anybody. You just have to experience it. So they're what inspire me the most. Okay, so let's I think I pulled up a question here. Tyson, why do you think Barry is selling his house? So let's get right into Barry Morphew. Linda, let's talk about him for a little while and some of the shenanigans that he's got going on and where the case stands. I mean, to me, in my mind, Linda, you're kind of the leading expert on on the case right now.
No,
Truly,
I'm not the lead
I mean,
expert. I don't.
your times and everything out lately have just knocked it out of the park. And so, what do you think, Linda, on that? This is from Addy Gary. What do you think? Why do you think he's selling the house?
Okay, well, tonight actually, I have a video queued up on a third theory, and I do mention this exact question. Of course, this is in my opinion. In this video tonight, I talk about the triangle theory that Barry actually he mentioned to Tyson in his video about the triangle and how we're very confident Suzanne is not in this triangle. So I won't get into too much, obviously, but I want to answer this question. The reason why I'm doing that is because it lines up with this. I feel like there is a possibility that Suzanne is in the triangle. And when I look at that theory, it looks like Barry is potentially freaking out that they're getting close. So Andy comes in, he's with hundreds of searchers, they're close to the house, and Barry's putting trail cams up, and things are getting a little heated. And I feel like, and I know there's a whole other backstory, there's lots of money and all this, but I feel like perhaps this is Barry freaking out and selling his house because, you know, crap's hitting the fan. That's why I think he's doing that right at the timing he is. Short answer, long answer. Yep. Your turn, Tyson.
Well, I knew that one was going to need some explaining because that's something that we had talked about before, Linda. But I have really nothing more to add to that because I'm so on board with your theory there that you know, I'm so on board with it that we're even trying to work together on this to put you know, my shoes and my boots out there on the ground to look in some of these spots. You know, we're not going to disclose any details on that, but you know, that's how confident I am in what you're saying, Linda. That's how much stock I put into it. So I agree. You know, it's just I feel like he was trying to steer me away from that area as well. As you go back and study the tape, and you can tell that he was really nervous about that little area right there, and also with like you said, the trail cams and everything else too. So
yeah, there's just some things that he talked about in your video. I watched it a cajillion times. I think of your 25,000 views in there, mine's probably 5,000 of it. Watching it. Yeah. But that's funny. There's some things that are very, very, when you just look at the directions of what he's saying, he's pointing you up the hill, up the mountain, and he keeps saying we're really confident and points out the triangle. And I have a couple things with that as well, but I haven't mentioned that in the video, but check out after this, you guys can see the video that I was talking about all these things.
Yeah, definitely head over to Linda's channel as soon as we're done here and check that out. That will not disappoint. Okay, the next question here is from Lynn M. I'm looking for questions directed towards Linda as well, but they keep popping up with my name on here. But but we'll both take the opportunity if you don't mind, Linda. Tyson, I said I would ask you this tonight. Someone commented on another channel that they understood you're scared and paranoid of Barry. Can you answer this? Oh, that's very interesting, Lynn. It's crazy how like different people interpret situations. Some people say I'm fearless and that I'm not afraid of Barry or anything else, and then other people, they interpret it that I'm paranoid of Barry. I don't know, what context this was said in or who said it or whatever. I guess that really doesn't matter to answer your question. I wouldn't say I'm paranoid of Barry or even scared of him. What I was afraid of long this time was accusing an innocent person of something that they hadn't done. And so it wasn't that I was afraid of Barry or I was changing my stance on anything. I just wanted to really make sure that before I, dropped the hammer on somebody, that I knew that I had a pretty good idea, a grasp of how I was feeling. And I wasn't sure how I was feeling, especially in the beginning, because, I I was in shock, and I was so caught off guard by everything that I didn't know from one day to the next how I felt about Barry. He is very convincing sometimes. You start thinking, man, maybe this guy didn't do this. But, like we're going to talk about tonight with Linda, there's just too many evidence pointing towards him. It's not just one or two bricks anymore. It's an entire house. But we're going to talk about that later, aren't we, Linda? And this one would be really hard for you to answer, Linda. I'm so sorry. Do you think I'm scared? Do you think I'm scared of Barry, Linda?
No, I think maybe what people might be thinking of is when you first put out that video with Barry, and right after you had a follow-up video going, geez, I don't know if he meant this or not, but it sounded like he made a little threat. And I think that's maybe, but I'm just guessing on that. This is in my opinion.
No, and I appreciate that, because that's kind of what I was thinking too. I didn't want to sound wishy-washy in any way. I mean, I had my suspicions the day I talked to Barry. You can hear it in my voice that when I talk in that video. I mean, I was asking him some questions that I don't really know where those questions came from, guys. They must have just came from heaven above or something, because they just popped into my head when I asked about, how long Suzanne had been missing before anybody noticed and stuff like that. But it wasn't that I changed my stance. It was just I wasn't sure in the beginning if Barry was guilty or not. I mean, somebody could have abducted her. It's not likely, but I wasn't sure at that time. Does that make sense?
Sure does. And we're grateful for that video. Right. That video tells a lot.
Yeah, well, thank you, Linda. I know it's been a controversial video, but that's pretty indicative of how I live my life, right? I'm kind of a polarizing figure, Linda. Like you either love me or hate me. I don't really feel like there's any in between, and I felt like that's how it was with that video.
Funny. That too. People either love me or hate me. There's no gray area.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well, let's. Do you see any? Oh, you can't see him. I'm used to asking those other guys that are on here with me, Dusty and Chappie. Dusty has the night off tonight, and Chappie, he's moderating for us. We just felt like it was going to be a kind of a crowded session here tonight with a bunch of people, and so I kind of was stingy and just kind of wanted you one-on-one here. So, all right, let's see here. I'm looking at the questions, guys, here. Okay. Here's a good, I keep seeing this question pop up right here. Glowing Ember, congratulations, your question made it up here again. Last time I thought that was Alf on the screen, but I was getting, hey, Linda, did you guys have Alf in Canada?
Yep, I loved Alf. I used to watch it.
I'm sure he was around.
Yeah, I watched it too.
I think.
Is that singer?
I loved Alf, man. That guy was awesome. What?
It's like, is that singer age?
I feel like I'm cutting out here. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So explain why DWAP says Andy didn't grow up with Suzanne. Were parents divorced, or do you know? So I'm not sure why I can't answer for DWAP. DWAP's going to have to answer for himself. But as far as the facts go, that I don't know, Suzanne. I mean, Linda, I thought Suzanne and Andy grew up together. As far as I know, they did, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I'm with you too.
Yep, we're not sure on that. We'll have to do a little more research, Glowing Ember, but thank you for the question. Let's see. Do you think I see one there? Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Okay, right here. So Patricia Drummond, do you want to take that one, Linda?
Oh, you take that one.
Okay. Do you think Suzanne threatened Barry to reveal any financial secrets? In my gut, I think, we kind of hit on this in one of our videos when we were talking about the finances and how everything was being moved over to the Suzanne Morphew Hope Foundation. I think there was a lot of financial issues going on. I think there was a lot of financial stuff. And so, I wasn't in their house. I don't know exactly the conversations that they had or what went down exactly, but my suspicion would be that there was some serious financial stuff going on. And that's a high probability that maybe Suzanne had found out and was threatening Barry, but who knows? What are your thoughts on that, Linda?
I don't know. I don't know a lot about the financial background. I started watching. Well, I watched most of you guys' video on it and started seeing the little isms. Do I think she threatened Barry? I doubt she would threaten. But that's just, again, like you said, gut answer.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like Suzanne's nature, right? Everything that we've learned about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she seemed like such a good wife and a good mom, and so who knows, man? That's just all speculation. Here's the next question, Lily Bell. Tyson, did you notice any cuts or wounds on Barry's hands that day you ran into him? I didn't notice that day any cuts per se. I do remember Barry, flinging his hands around all over the place, and you can all see it in the video. And so I did notice that Barry had some really chapped hands. But I chalked it up to him being a landscaper and a construction worker, and I didn't put a lot of thought into it until Tube Crime. Our friends at Tube Crime, AK and Brandon, they kind of did some close-ups on Barry's hands, and they were very revealing. His hands were very revealing. There was obvious trauma to his hands. There was, it looked like there was a knuckle that was disjointed even. And again, it could be, it could be something or not, Linda. You just never know. What do you think?
I didn't see, I've heard a couple people mention that. I can't remember if it was in a chat or something. I didn't look further into that. I don't know. I would be guessing like you, saying, that's probably because he's a landscaper and, hunter and that kind of thing. And he might have just rough hands. I don't know, but I didn't see that video. So.
Yeah, you'll have to go check it out, Linda. It's pretty cool. It's, they really zoomed in on his hands and they saw some cuts and they saw that knuckle on his right hand that was by his pinky and it was kind of disjointed. So yeah, go check. I encourage you guys to check that out. So here's a question from Good Grandma, and I was actually watching your live the other day, Linda, and I saw her on your channel.
Yeah.
So Good Grandma is a subscriber to both of us. If you guys that are coming over here from Linda's channel, if you haven't subscribed to our channel now, the Draper Brothers, please take the time to do that before you leave or shortly after the video's over. So anyway, here's her question, Linda. She says, did you see the Self movie on East Idaho News? A mountain lion almost attacks a man down his jogging path. I thought the bobcat bobcats wouldn't chase. So this question here, let me digest it a little bit. First of all, I did see a video online of a guy that was being chased by what I believe to be a cougar. Was that it, Linda, or is that the same one? Okay.
And it's long.
Yes, it was terrifying, and the guy was I mean, he was saying words on there that would make a sailor blush, or whatever. But but no, I don't blame him one bit. I probably would have been saying the exact same thing. I mean, how terrifying was that?
Yeah, I saw part of where they kind of slap the ground almost. Like I never knew, like coming from that angle, I was like, wow, it shocked me how she would just kind of hit the ground a couple times and just it was amazing. He was 6 minutes long. It was interesting at the very end how he did something because he kind of lowered, I don't know what he did, but that stopped it. And then the cat ran off. But I was kind of joking about that this morning, thinking, whoo, I bet he's pretty happy. Barry's pretty happy that came out. That video.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of videos pop up lately, in the true crime, because you know how that little feed goes through your YouTube, like the videos that you might be interested in or whatever. I'm seeing a lot of those mountain lion things pop up now for some reason. It's crazy. But to answer her question, I think we're not saying it's impossible for somebody to get attacked by a mountain lion.
No.
Nobody has ever said that at all. I mean, it happens. Yeah, it happens in Canada, right, Linda?
Yep. Well, the same thing. I mean, Colorado is very, very, very similar to Canada, in Western Canada, where I live. And so we have mountain lions, we have bears, it's very similar as the Rocky Mountains. So it's just rare. And I think when I was doing my research, the last time there was a fatal attack in Colorado was 1991.
Really? It's been that?
1991 wow. In Colorado. And there's not very many, but.
Wow, that is crazy. I would have thought that they were more frequent than that. That's very, very rare.
Yeah, that's one.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can pull up another question here. This looks like a pretty good question from the Skinny. Welcome, the Skinny. If you're a subscriber to our channel, thank you. If you're not yet, we encourage you to do so. He says, Suzanne, Morphew case, why do you think there has not been a circumstantial case brought by the sheriff's office, or do you think they are close to having a circumstantial case? My thoughts on that are, I believe we're close. Profile and Evil, when they first contacted me, and asked me kind of to take the journey with them, we were both brand new. And we were starting our channels together. I mean, not together, but at the same time. And one of the things that they talked about was, that the evidence takes a long time to process sometimes, Linda. You have to send it off to the lab. They have to do their testing, and sometimes it takes weeks or months. I mean, look at Tammy Daybell. I mean, how long have we been waiting for? They exhumed her body. They did another autopsy on her. We still haven't heard anything. It's been months and months and months. So that's my 2 cents on it.
And to piggyback on that, what you said is in the Lori Vallow case, they even talked about that in court about how they were talking about their devices. And they started, I think it took 4 or 5 months to get all the information that they needed. One of the FBI agents was talking about that. He was talking about the cell phone and the data, and then you have to do this and that and all the chain of command that you had to do. And it was 4 or 5 months later. So there's that. There's also what I believe that perhaps the authorities are waiting to find Suzanne. And then they go from there, and Suzanne may come with a lot of interesting information.
Very good. Yeah, that's one of the things that I thought too, Linda, was you know, Maysville is a very, very small town. For you guys that haven't seen my video, I did one out there of the bike ride. And in that video, I mentioned that Maysville, the population is 135 people. So it's tiny. And I think one of the strategies of law enforcement, I haven't had this confirmed. This is total speculation. It's my own thoughts, that maybe law enforcement is just kind of leaving Barry alone and just kind of watching him for a little while just to see what he does. And maybe, you know, sometimes it leads to where they may have hidden things, right? And so I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but I think that, like you're saying, you know, maybe Barry will show us some things, you know, just by letting him roam around out there. Now, I don't know. I don't know how you guys, how the subscribers would feel about that. I don't know how you feel about that, Linda, but that's just my own, kind of one of my own personal feelings on that.
Yeah, I think that there's maybe they have enough information, but they need a few things to finish it up, to tie it up, or maybe they're waiting for Suzanne to be found. And I think Barry's doing his own little job. I'm not going to say good job, but he's doing his own little thing and creating his own, I don't want to say stories. So what I mean is he's showing us a few things and there's more details coming to light, I guess I should say. And so it's like dark and light, you know, like you can see the contrast. I mentioned this in one of my videos with Andy doing the search, and the contrast is what Barry's not doing. And so I always say the truth is in the details. So maybe they're just waiting a little bit more for more details, or like you said, waiting for more of the data to come in and then just lining it up. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, Profile and Evil, sometimes they'll give you enough information where you can kind of read between the lines. And not, you know, I'm not saying they're not law enforcement anymore. You know, they're former law enforcement, but sometimes they're privy to some information that we may not have. But, you know, one of the things that Chris McDonough's been saying is that, you know, something's like right around the corner. You know, just hang tight and just be patient. And, you know, law enforcement's got this thing handled, and it's just a matter of time. So that's all. That's what we're all doing.
I feel like it's a matter of when.
Yeah, exactly. All right, here's another question, Linda. Let's see, did I pull up the right one? Nope, that's not the right one. But Joy, the Joy Catcher, that lady, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being here tonight. She's a great subscriber of ours. She's always supporting us. Thank you so much. And I believe she's in Utah.
Great.
If I'm wrong. Yeah. Let's see, Linda. I'm trying these comments. They're because you're here with us. We got such a large crowd. They just fly by here tonight. So,
hello, everybody. I know it's hard when you're trying to read all the things and put them up.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's nice when Dusty and Chappie are on here. All three of us are kind of looking at it, so it makes it a little bit faster. But let's talk about this from Wendy Claire. It's not really a question, but she's saying, I'm suspicious of the place he was pictured lying on the ground, and I seen a bumped up looking area beside him off to the right. Just saying. So what are your thoughts on that, Linda?
Hello, Wendy. I noticed you. I noticed your name there. Let me see. Well, this picture is weird. It's straight up weird. I don't like how he's lying on the ground. I find it weird. I find it weird that he's fell over in exhaustion and is lying on the ground. Could be. It really could be. But I don't know, Tyson. I think it's just really strange that he goes there, he's lying, and he makes a comment about this would be a good spot if somebody wanted to chuck her off the bluffs.
Yeah, very, very strange. Very Linda, strange. Can I hold that thought for 1 second? There was several things that went by here that I didn't get a chance to say thank you. Let me see if I can put it up on the screen. I actually have Plunder. Oh, I was hoping I could put it on the, yeah, Plunder's here tonight. Plunder, thank you so much for, and Plunder, if I could get you up on the screen, I would, Plunder, but she sent basically a $50 donation and said, you two are great, with 2 hearts on it. So thank you so much, Plunder. I appreciate that. We appreciate it so much. And sorry we didn't see it going by here. Plunder, your channel is great. I'm going to give you a shout out and tell people to go over to your channel. You're probably already subscribed. She's growing like crazy, but if you haven't seen Plunder, go check her out. She's one of my very favorite. Her and Linda are 2 of my very favorite YouTube channels, because let me tell you about Plunder. The very first day that I got that video of Barry, I posted it on YouTube, and I had maybe 500 subscribers, and Plunder picked up on it within the first couple of minutes. That's how on top of this Suzanne Morphew case she was, Linda. I mean, she's been on it.
Yeah, she's very good at finding information. I wish I could see more of creators' stuff. You know how it is when you create stuff, it takes forever, and I'd love to go on everybody's channel, but I do. A lot of people come and say, hey, check out Plunder. She has this up, she has that up, or whatever. And yeah, she's very, very good at finding information, and she puts out tons of videos. So good on you, girl.
Yes.
Yeah,
she is.
It's not easy.
Well, no, it's not easy, and it takes a lot of time, and she's very good at it. She's perfected her craft. I like to say that this Suzanne Morphew case would have died of COVID-19 if it wasn't for Plunder. Truly, Plunder kept it alive. And thank you for the donation, Plunder. And also thank you, Anna from Australia. She sent a $50 donation, and her comment was, please catch Barry and get him locked up. I cannot wait to see his face. Please help us solve crime down under. Love you guys. Linda is such a classy lady, and Tyson is such a gentleman. All things poor Barry could only wish that he could be. So thank you, Anna from Australia. That was very, very sweet. And Ann Pena, she's on the screen there, and she says it will happen because the light outshines darkness. Hello to both of you. Hello.
Hello.
And I thought she was in Clifton, Arizona, but she's actually somewhere else. I won't say, but she did answer me today, and I thought she was just right down the road from me. But thank you, Ann, for your donation, and thank you for being a member of our channel. All right, Linda, we're getting close to the hour mark. Why don't we take just a couple of more questions? Because I really don't want to keep you on here longer than an hour. Thank you for donating an hour to us.
It's all good. I'm happy to be here. I'm having fun.
Okay, so let me see if I can find some good questions here to wrap this up with. We're going to take 2 more good, solid questions. Here we go. How about the reward? Tyson and Linda, this is from Kamari Tanner. Am I saying that right? Kamari? I swear, Linda, I get the hardest names all the time.
Me too.
I'm so sorry. I'm probably totally butchering that. But anyway, thank you for the question. Tyson and Linda, if Barry has $100,000 laying around for a reward, then why does he not or need a GoFundMe account? So, I don't know. I really don't know how to answer that. First of all, I don't think he has $100,000 laying around. I think he's scrambling. I think he's in a financial mess. And I think that he, we touched on this earlier. I do believe there was major financial troubles going on, probably a lot that Suzanne probably didn't even know about, because, Barry handled a lot of the business aspect himself, from what I've learned. And so that's speculation. That's my opinion. But I don't think he had $100,000 laying around. I think he could have said he had $1 million reward, because he knew that Suzanne you know, he already knew. He already knew what happened. Right, Linda?
Yep. And if it's, I mean, I could say I want $2 million for the safe return of someone who's dead.
Exactly.
And
exactly. And did you go ahead?
the GoFundMe account was put up right after the mountain lion theory did not work. So Sunday, Suzanne's reported missing. Monday, he's still sticking to the mountain lion theory, and he saw Andy and was talking about it. And Andy's like, listen, there's no puma, there's no mountain lion, there's nothing. And by Tuesday, Wednesday, the abduction theory comes in. So does the GoFundMe account. So does the 100,000 and the 200,000 because it was matched. So it's all part of the theory, in my opinion. I talked about that in the abduction theory and the mountain lion theory. But when I go to the timeline and you start looking at it, you start seeing a little pattern. And you can see that the mountain lion theory doesn't work. So in comes a couple days later comes the abduction theory with the money, the GoFundMe. Now, interesting, you actually asked this, Tyson, in your video about something that had to do with the money and shoot, what was I going to say? You asked about it. Anyways, I was answering it in my mind earlier today when I was watching it. It was about Trevor Noah. And the thing is, the day that Barry put up his 25-second video was the same day that the Find Suzanne Morphew page went silent. That was, as you know. So some people might know that. And so when you start looking at that, I mean, I don't know.
It's not, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. You can start to pick up on, and that's what we were saying backstage, Linda, is you kind of have that six to be able to pick up on a lot of those details. See, my mind doesn't work like that. Like you're able to pick up. And so it's so nice to have you as a friend because you're like filling in the gaps for me as we go along here. It's amazing. So I've said it a lot of times. I'll probably say it again, that you have a gift, Linda, and we're so grateful for that.
Thank you, Tyson. You know what? You fill in the gaps too, because I message you like, hey, what do you know about this? I need a timeline on it. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. It's teamwork.
So I have a question here, Linda. Let's see. It has to do with Barry watching. Well, here it is. Moonmaid. Do you think that Barry watches your channels and channels like PE and Plunder to keep on top of the public is speculating and possible searches? Do you want to have first stab at that, Linda?
Yes, he is. He's watching.
Yeah, I agree. Go ahead, Linda. Sorry.
Yeah, I just think he's watching a lot. I don't want to say a lot similar, but we've seen this in the Gannon Stoke case with Letitia. She does it in a little bit of a different way where she would rebut some things. Like, so for example, YouTubers or even my channel, I would address her directly in a video. And then a couple of days later, she would go to the mainstream, that she'd go to the news reporters and then answer these questions. But I am seeing a couple things happen, and I'm pretty sure he does. I think he goes to whatever he can and he keeps up on what's going on.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind. In fact, we were kind of having a little bit of a conversation, yourself, Mr. Linda, and myself, regarding somebody that was jumping onto your thing the other day. And I don't know if you guys have seen that character before, but in my mind, man, it was a match. It was a match. And I don't know what you guys talked about it. Linda, you and I haven't talked about it since, so I don't know how you feel, but man.
Well, first I appreciate you coming in and sticking up for me. I really do appreciate that. It was not nice what this commenter said, but I think we recovered quite well. This commenter talked about how he actually ended up calling me makeup girl, and then something about putty on my face, and like just really not nice. but it quickly went into, like, I noticed he didn't respond after. It quickly went into a whole bunch of things. And one of the things I ended up saying was like, "Ooh, somebody has a case on the Mondays on a Thursday, and Tyson's going in and he's sticking up for me, and then Mr. Linda's coming in and saying stuff, and
Yeah.
yeah, I don't think he's going to be coming back again."
I don't think so either. I didn't realize what a great team all three of us make, man.
It was awesome. When I saw you answer, I was like, "Oh, this is great." And we thought it might be Barry. So just
well, and you know what, man? Even if that wasn't Barry, that was a ridiculous troll that needed to be ran out of there. So I hope you never see that guy again. That was awful.
he's coming back after that. That was pretty sweet. We did not stop. But you know what? It's important. That's an important thing, because what people put out there, they get back. And so it says more about him and his character than it does about me. I don't care if he thinks I have a ton of makeup on or whatever. It's a good thing I don't have a makeup channel. That's not what the channel I have. And so, like, whatever, right? If you want to on my looks, I don't care. At the end of the day, you get what you put out. So if I think that guy has a case of the Mondays every day.
Well, I told you this, and I'm going to tell everybody here too. At the school that I work at, that your video that came out that day, I think it was a day after you and I had that Zoom chat. We were watching your video. My students are getting into it, by the way, and these are older students, mostly seniors. But anyway, they were commenting on how pretty you were. So that guy, you know, he can say whatever, but I've heard so many people and seen enough of your videos that they're just, you know, they're praising you all the time. And so I just didn't want that to get you down in any way, shape, or form, because he's just a total troll, is all he was.
Yeah, it was definitely. I think that's the thing with creator. You have to have a little bit of a thick skin, or start to, because I think that could actually get to a lot of people when you hear that day in and day out. And, you know, so I just appreciate that you came in there and you were sticking up for another fellow creator. I think that's important. Some creators take the opportunity and chance to create videos that are detrimental to other creators, and it's not necessary. If you have something to say, like, don't spend your time and your energy wasting and, you know, being low vibing and low energy of doing that to others. I think, I mean, for what? So it's just nice to see support from other people. I said this even to Profiling Evil, that it's so nice to see. This is what I had waited for, even though I haven't been doing this for very long. My channel's only been since December. I was waiting for this, for people to come together and work together and use what we have, these gifts or skills or whatnot, and come together and go and do what we're after, and that's the truth, right? So it's just important to me, and I waited a long time. It feels like, anyways. I came on scene and it wasn't good, but now it's inspiring.
I got to tell you something, Linda. So when I first started doing my YouTube channel, I posted some stuff that first day, and I think Plunder, like I was saying earlier, she picked up on it, and I ran with it, and then, you know, I started to get some text messages and some backlash and stuff, and so I took everything off of there. But now I lost my train of thought. Help me. I totally lost my train of thought.
Maybe, I don't know.
Wait, say that again. You were like muffled. What was it?
Maybe you were talking about people coming after you.
I don't know. It's gone. I'm so sorry, folks. It's all these gray hairs. I'm getting old. But I had a really good point too. Dang it! What was it? It was about Plunder. Oh well.
You so said sorry. The videos you put out, and that very first day something.
Yeah, it's gone, Linda. Now I'm nervous, and I'm all flustered. So I'm so sorry. Next question.
Next question.
Guys. Okay, here we go. This is the question of the century here. What is your gut feeling on that, Linda? Because this I want to put to rest once and for all, even though we can't officially. But what do you think on that?
I'm not going to name names. Yeah. But I do think it's a minion.
Okay. Let me ask you this then, because I want to pry a little bit. Do you think it's male or female?
Male.
Okay. All right. I'm happy with that. I think the subscribers, whether you're happy about it or not, it's all we're going to get out of Linda. So
maybe when I dive a little bit more deeper into it, maybe.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that because that's speculation. I have my opinions on it too, but I haven't confirmed anything yet.
I haven't
I'm working on it
yet either, but yeah, same. Maybe we'll have a conversation about that and matching answers.
Yeah. We definitely need to. Brooklyn Cares. Oh, looking fresh, Tyson and Linda. You are beautiful. I'm loving the unity. Thank you so much. I don't know if I'm assuming she's one of your subscribers too, and I've seen her over here on our channel. Thank you, Brooklyn Cares.
It's very nice.
All right, let's see. Let's go with one more here. Sorry, I'm looking here. But if nothing else, Linda, I think we've we've asked a lot of questions here tonight that will provoke a lot of thought for our subscribers. Some things to think about. Hopefully, and a lot of times I think they're wondering, what we're thinking and how we're feeling, and this is an opportunity for us to kind of give our opinions on things. And guys, we're just like you. We're not privy to any information from law enforcement or anything like that. We have to draw our own conclusions, and so we're right there with you. We're studying this case. And what do you think, Linda?
Yeah, I agree. We don't get the down low. we have to gather the information. I wait until I get the information to go in a timeline. You know how much I love timelines, and then I start basically stripping it down and figuring it out. There's Shelby. Yeah, so
Shelby, where'd she go? Oh, I'm so sorry. There you go.
That's okay. Hi, Shelby. She just had a little baby. Hello.
Hi, Shelby. Hi, baby. Do you know the baby's name?
Avery, I believe her little baby is.
Avery. Oh, how cute. Thank you, Shelby, for the donation. And I agree. We love Linda over here too. So
sweet.
Long before, not long because she hasn't been on there that long, but before I even started my YouTube channel and got going here, I was watching Linda too. And it's so cool to have my own show or have, us have our show and have you on here. It's so kind of surreal.
Yeah, it's fun.
Cool. But okay, let's see. I want to put this one up and I don't want it to look like I'm tooting my own horn, Linda, but there's been a lot of people who feel this same way, where when I first got started, when I first heard of Tyson, I wasn't sure of him getting involved like a reporter, etc., tricking Barry, but I was wrong. Tyson is a class act, sweet man, great haircut. So thank you, Kim. And the only reason I put that up there, I didn't know it said that at the end, so it's kind of making me blush here now. But no, I appreciate that, because when I first recorded Barry, honestly, I wasn't sure how to feel about it myself. I knew it was unethical, and it was trickery, and so I wasn't sure how to feel about it, and that was one of the reasons I took it down off of YouTube as well, is because I wasn't sure. But a lot of people were upset about that, Linda. I got a lot of hate when I went up to Idaho to look at the Daybell case. Man, my phone was blowing up with just hate message after hate message from these people that were upset, and there's still people upset to this day, and I get it. What are your thoughts on that, Linda?
you know what? I'm going to say a couple of things from a creator point of view and a watcher. I think when we first start, we're finding our way, right? And one of your very first videos in true crime was the Barry video. And so when I first saw it too, I was like, who is this guy? You know, and watching and seeing, and like, there's that conflict because you have it in your pocket and it's recording. However, I guess there's a couple things I can say about that. From a creator's point of view, I get it because I did the same thing. I'm after the truth. You're after the truth. And I put out the CW case. I'm not going to say the name. And we all know what we're talking about. And I think there's like over 1.5 million views or 1 million views on this video. And not monetized, by the way. However.
Oh, man. That's crazy.
I get so many, I've gotten death threats there. I've gotten the worst comments. So many people attacking what I look like it's terrible. However, I still stand by it. But in retrospect, if I were to do it again, I wouldn't do it angry and I would probably do it a little bit different. But we're feeling our way out when we start this. We don't know. We just are doing and we're doing what we can. Now, in saying that, I've gotten to know you a little bit. And I see your truth, what you're doing. You're after the truth. And the way you're doing it, you're showing love, Tyson. We can see that. People can see that you care. And that's a huge, huge part of things. And so you even said you didn't expect to run into Barry. You did. It was a weird situation and you recorded him. In my eyes, there's should be maybe, I don't know if that's the word, a forgiveness to that. What you have is huge. And when I dissected that video and when others, law enforcement, whatever, they're doing it, that's a gift. So what you did is a gift. I'm sure you're looking back on, well, maybe I could have done this and done this different, whatever. We all have that. I still to this day, after 9 months on my CW video going, oh, it's so cringy. But at the same time, I'm not taking it down, right?
Yeah, I can't believe it's not monetized though. Dang, that's crazy.
Nope. I said it wouldn't, and I stuck to it. I did not monetize that video, and I still stick by what I see. But yeah, so you know what? Yeah. I mean, just keep going, doing what you do. You're following your heart, and you can see it. You care. You're taking your own time to dig into these things, and all of us just want the truth. So.
Yes.
Some people are probably going to always be angry at you at the video, and some people will forgive you, and some people are like, what are you talking about? There's no problem. So
yeah,
to each their own.
Yeah, Linda, thank you so much for saying that. I really appreciate that. That's a perspective that I think a lot of our subscribers share, you know, and thank you for that question or that comment too, because it's important that we bring that up. It truly is, because you know, you got to understand my mindset in that situation. When I pulled my camera out and Barry was getting out of his truck, I started filming him. I turned my camera on, and and then that's when it kind of starts rolling. And I said, "Hi, I'm Tyson Draper," or whatever I said. You know, I'm from Arizona or whatever. And then, you know, and then away it went. And he asked me to turn it off. And in that moment, guys, I'm not trying to justify it at all. I'm actually, if I had it to do over again, I would do the same exact thing again. I would, even though, you know what I'm saying? And so, but, you know, I didn't know in that moment if the camera was on or off. In the very beginning, when we first started walking up that hill, I was hoping it was on. I was like, man, this is important, because I knew that Fox News and CNN and the Daily Mail and all these huge corporations were trying to get an interview with Barry, and he was turning them away. And so I knew that somebody needed to hear from this guy. It had been 3 weeks, and it was time for him to say something besides this 25-second video. So I was hoping the camera was on, but I wasn't sure, and that's why I kind of fiddled with it. And then when I looked down and saw the red light, that's about the time that he almost caught me looking at it. So it was getting kind of dicey there at the end a little bit, you know, and that's when I think he kind of like casually threatened me, even though it was kind of like in tongue in like joking way. But you know, again, I would do the same thing over again, Linda. Absolutely. Even though it was ethically wrong, I would repent for it later, and just because the truth needs to come out for Suzanne. And if Barry has nothing to do with it, then come and be a man and do the right thing and get over whatever it is you're doing. And let's find Suzanne.
That's right.
Together. You know?
And there's a lot of truths in that video. A lot of truths.
Yeah, there is. For sure. Okay, Linda, do you have anything else in closing? I'll give you a couple minutes just to kind of wrap up your thoughts or whatever you want to say, and then I'll do the same. So,
you know what? I think bottom line is Suzanne needs to come home. And a lot of people were talking about, you know, being upset at, you know, what if somebody's innocent? What if about somebody's guilty, etc. There we go. I'm just reading that too. Tyson's video changed everything. I'm going to read this for you. Without that,
yes.
No, nothing. Tyson is a breath of fresh air in the true crime community. And this is exactly it. I say this over and over. It's a gift. This was a gift, this video. If you look at it, you study it like we do, and there's a lot of people who do too. There are things about Barry that are coming forward. In the beginning, we look at people from two perspectives. Over time, you start to see little isms, little patterns, patterns of behavior, patterns of, you know, all these things. And you start connecting the dots. And over time, we may know a little bit more from certain sources or whatever, and we start putting things together. And when we start putting things together, it's hard to turn back. In my opinion, when I see something, I can't lie and say this person's innocent when it's not looking so. When the data doesn't line up, why are you lying about it? So I start to question. And then when you take the timeline, you take the little nuggets of information and you start putting it into the storyline. It is what it is. And
there you go.
It is what it is. And there can only be a certain number of theories before you run out of theories. And then when you start crossing them off, you're left with, you know, one or two, namely one in this information or in this case. So when we're after the truth, it's not to jump the gun and say somebody's guilty. But when you start putting things together, it's so hard to turn back. It's so hard. And like Chris from Profiling Evil says, we haven't left the house. And so yeah, Chris, I would just like to say, we need to look in the triangle. And you guys will know what I'm talking about in half an hour or so, or whenever we're done and that video. But it's important because it ties in with this.
Absolutely. That was perfect, Linda. I don't even know how I'm going to follow that up. Seriously, that was perfect.
Your idea.
So that's what I like about visiting with you, Linda, is your brain and the unique way in which it works. And you're able to see things that I'm not able to see. And I have truly appreciated our Zoom chats and getting to know you through email and our other communications. It truly has been a pleasure getting to know you and having you on our channel because, man, you're just such an asset to the true crime community, such a class act. And, you know, I just appreciate you being here tonight. I haven't seen Mr. Linda. Is he in here tonight, by the way?
I don't know if he's in or not.
If he is, he sure is quiet. I was hoping he would say something here tonight.
He maybe he's just, I don't know.
He's probably going to, you know what he's going to say is hurry up and end this dang show so I can take my wife out to eat or whatever you guys got going on tonight. So.
Linda has to put
awesome
up her
too.
No, I really appreciate you inviting me on here. I think it's been a long time coming. We've wanted to do a collaboration of some sort, and we'll have you on. It's a crime. I'm sure a lot of people would love that, right? If you guys love that, put heck yeah in the comments. And
yeah.
we're gonna keep working on this together anyways, and we have lots to figure
Hey,
out.
we do, Linda, and I want to tell you, Chappie's a huge fan of yours. Can I invite him in real fast to say bye to you real quick? All right, Chappie.
Hey guys, great collaboration. I loved this, and I know everybody else did also. Just by looking at these comments, I have to say one thing, if that's okay.
You got it, buddy.
Your moderators are invaluable, man. It's killing me trying to keep up with these comments. So, moderators, you're amazing. Thank you for all that you do. Love you, Linda. I appreciate all that you do on your channel, and I think everybody, if you're not already subscribed to It's a Crime, get over there and hit that subscribe button right now. Well, not right now, right after this show.
Thank you, Chappie. And hey, get back in there and swim with those sharks.
You got it. Thank you.
Hey, Linda, thank you for coming on. I just want to thank our sponsor, Merrill Boots. And we also want to thank all those people who have subscribed to our channel and those that are members, those who have sent donations tonight. If I missed you, I'm terribly sorry. I will try to remember your name. I'll write it down and I will mention it in Twitter or on Twitter or in another video or something. I do not like to forget you guys, especially those that send in donations. So thank you guys so much. I think it's been a wonderful collaboration with Linda. I look forward to many, many more, Linda. And let's get out there and find Suzanne together.
Sounds like a deal.
All right, Linda. Thank you so much. Have a great night.
So much. Thank you. You too. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.